Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is our Ghosts of Saltmarsh Patreon Greyhawk campaign, starring all of these wonderful Patreons. Thank you to all of our Patreons. Because of them, everything that we do here is made possible. All of the one-shots, three-shots, marathons, everything. So thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you so much to the Patrons that you see here. If you would like to see previous episodes of this campaign or any of our other campaigns, check out our YouTube. Sorry for the hella clacky. I got a new keyboard and I don't like it. It's really loud, so I'm sorry for that. It's gonna be a thing today. But anyway, head on over to our YouTube. You can also find out what you can get for being a Patreon over there as well. We have a couple of ways that you can interact with our game. If you would like to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. There's some spicy things that come about from it. You can also use your channel points for free that you get for hanging out and just being awesome to grant a blessing or an advantage die or a reroll to every player, including me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and who you're playing today. Unfortunately, Emma will not be able to join us today. Emma is super awesome and is very busy with her brand new Kickstarter. You can check out the links there. It's called All the Witches. Kickstarter is coming out on March 16. Head on over that way. And then we'll hop on over to GeekDice. Hello. How are you?
I am well. Thank you. I'm GeekDice. And you can find me here on Wednesdays when I actually show up. Try to do that on occasion. I am playing... Bless. Thank you. I am playing KayBee. He is a Fenadiri, or a house spirit, like a brownie. Yeah, like that. A fey creature. He is a blade singer and a battlesmith. KayBee is warrior, and now he thinks he's a hero. So we'll see how that goes.
Excellent. Tell me a bit about your companions that you have.
Oh, KayBee has all kinds of companions. He has a tiny little owl, an owl familiar who goes by the name Friend. Sometimes very helpful in battle. KayBee, also being artificer battlesmith, has mechanical pet. Currently, the rendition of his pet is a seat on a pair of mechanical legs. He calls this abomination legs. He runs around in combat, treats it like a mount, and he can joust. And then finally, he has a silent but stalwart and brave companion, Birdman companion, by the name of Quick.
Thank you.
I think that's all of them, right? Is there any extras I missed?
Yep, you got the
familiar, the construct,
yeah.
the hinge person.
Yep, you got it.
The knight.
Cool.
Yeah, everybody's got pets.
It's true.
There's a menagerie.
Speaking of pets, we'll move on over to GodfatherWraith. Tell me about who you are and tell me about your character and their pet.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith V_ESG, but you can just call me Wraith or Godfather or Tim or pretty much anything you want except late for dinner. I play Garen. He's your average nondescript ordinary rogue who's really good at making things dead. But he is a little less nondescript now that he has an owlbear cub as a pet. That he is going to start taking on walks every morning. So he burns up energy.
We'll see if that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much. We'll hop on over to John.
Hi there, everybody. I'm John, also known as Endicarus on the internet, and I play Pole of Ammonfort. Pole also has pets of a sort. He has a little pet mouse named Buttons, but he also has a familiar named Penny Sprinkle, who's a sprite. I wouldn't exactly call her a pet, though. She's more like his guardian, because he can't really take care of himself very well, and she's a little bit more aggressive. Things that I have on the go outside of this. I make some little games and I put them on my twitch.io or sorry, my itch.io channel. And you can go there and download some of them. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be attending a local convention where I'm going to run my game of Law of the Jungle for a sold out group of 5 people. So I'm really excited about that. It'll be fun. This will be my first in-person convention since the pandemic. We're all going to be wearing masks, but we're all going to also be doing crazy animal noises. So it should be fun.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then we'll hop over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie IMZ. I'm one of those names you like to call me. I'm the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship clip. I probably do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Today I play Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher, hunter, who is all about the undead and trying to figure out what has gone on since his whole village was ravaged by the undead and trying to figure all these things out. He has a pet named Bims, who's over there right now because I forgot to grab my prop because I'm bad. And he is a pseudo dragon, the best boy, even though I can't understand him. He can kind of understand me. It's fun. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So last time we dealt with our competition. We had our all-out squad versus squad battle royale, and we found that the event was disrupted by the presence of 2 shambling mounds that crawled out of the bog, and that didn't slow down our party. While some of the opposing party members were persuaded to help against the thrashing creatures as they threatened both your livelihood and the livelihood of your Saltmarsh Council members and various other citizens that were watching the event. Some of you did actually come together to work side by side to fell these creatures, these abominations of magic and nature that were, I believe it was Pole who was able to divine that there was something unusual about them. There was some sort of curse or some sort of magic that was involved that propelled these creatures forward out of nowhere. But in the aftermath of the competition here, it was decided that your party won. You were more or less pummeling the living shit out of the others when the shambling mounds had appeared. So I think there's no contest across the board. Each one of the council members agrees that you are victorious. And so we cycled the day forward, and as the party is going about their routines of what you do in celebration after, we'll fast forward to the day after. It is a brand new morning in Saltmarsh. You can hear the sounds of industry all around you, the ding-ding of bells down by the dock. You can hear carts being rolled out, carrying goods and people and stone and lumber, going in each and every way. Where do we find each one of you this morning after your competition, after you've had a great amount of time to recuperate, and you know that you're going to, at some point today, receive a message from the Saltmarsh Council that it's time to move forward with the plan? But first, brunch.
I was gonna say that's where Finn's going. Finn's going to brunch.
Oh, I'd say if we're at brunch, then Garen's probably already had his walk with Barnacus, and he's down there having brunch with Finn.
I'm so glad you say that. Can I get an animal handling check from you? Let's see how well your
Yay.
walk went.
Yeah. What story do you have to tell?
Okay, a 14. Let's see how rowdy. Okay. He only got a 6.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what this looks like. This walk that you're taking Barnacus out on. So I do remember that you had more or less had a section of the ship kind of cordoned off as a temporary shelter. So I
Yeah.
imagine that's where you're gonna start. Where do you
Yeah.
go?
Say
Let's put
Garen
y'all
would
on the map.
yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're starting at the docks, right? So 16
Mm-hmm.
the map. Yeah, I'd say he probably would take him to the bridge and back to just as a good starting point to see how much exercise he needs.
Okay.
And then
Yeah. How early do you wake up? Is this before sunrise?
before sunrise.
Okay. So I imagine what your first morning walk with Barnacus looks like. You wait, hold on. I need to know what kind of harness, like leash kind of business do we got going on here?
You know, I don't think Garen ever actually got one for Barnacus, so unless you're gonna let me say we did hand wave it.
No.
No.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it-
gonna be way more
nothing.
interesting without a harness.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have a harness. He's
Okay.
probably going to get one today.
Yes. So we see a montage, like a wide screen shot of Garen running after Barnacus as Barnacus is just just pouncing and charging between the various vendor stalls, most of which haven't been set up yet. They've been kind of tidied away and closed off. You see that like tarps have been draped over the goods that are too large to take away, and we just see things just kind of like flying and crashing and breaking as Barnacus is just kind of rummaging around. Every time you call out for Barnacus, Barnacus does come peering up and come charging towards you. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from you?
Oh dear.
Let's see how winded you are after this. Oh my god, 2 nat 20s. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, that's 21. Yes.
Hey,
What are the chances of rolling 2 nat 20s like that?
I know, right?
That's wild. Okay.
Why couldn't that be when
1
I
in
knew-
400.
Yeah.
1 in 400. Oh my
Right.
god. Too bad this wasn't even like really that important of a roll.
I know.
Okay.
Couldn't do it during battle, no.
All right. So
No.
tell me how you managed to handle this with like an air of grace, and this doesn't take anything out of you whatsoever.
Right. Garen just eventually looks at Barnacus and gets this stern, "Here, now." He just-
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. There's something about your presence here, your demand here, that immediately has Barnacus fall into "I'm just a baby" mode, right? And the rampage of the tiny baby owlbear comes to an end as he obediently follows you the rest of the walk. But you do see in your wake is quite a bit of broken wooden carnage.
Oh dear.
Do you do anything to address that, or do you just leave?
Oh, I mean, is there anyone around? Any
Nope.
shopkeepers around?
No one seems to have noticed this.
All right.
With your passive perception 20, by the way. Jesus. No, you see that there's no one around.
All right, then Garen's going to pretend it wasn't him.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so you make it over. Do you want to head over to the snapping line, or do you want to go back to the ship? Where do you want brunch?
Yeah, I think Garen would go to the snapping line.
Okay. When you get to the snapping line, Hannah Wrist sees you, and upon seeing your little companion, she immediately prepares a little fish bowl, and you see that there's like a little section already prepared for this, especially because he had been here during the various parties.
Right.
So she's ready. And for the sake of the rest of the adventure, like, he's busy eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what does your breakfast look like? What is your what do we see now that you enter the snapping line?
He'd probably take the whatever basic meal she's got. Garen's never extravagant. Unless KB's cooking, then he'll eat whatever KB makes.
Okay. Yeah, you get a simple porridge and some fresh bread. All right. And the camera will pan away from you. What does everyone else's morning look like?
So I
Well,
think this. Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, I was going to say, you don't have to pan very far if you're in the tavern, because that's where Pole is. He did make a stop off at the ship to get Tully, and he's got an idea that he's going to try and get Penny Sprinkle and Tully to like each other. So
Oh.
he's getting them together at the bar, and we're having some brunch, but we're also having some beer and a little thimble of mead for Penny Sprinkle, because that's what she likes. And awkwardly trying to find topics of conversation that they both enjoy and not succeeding at it, probably.
I love it. Can we get a persuasion check here?
All right. Let's see. Persuasion.
Okay, a 15. I think at this very moment, we have the three of you sitting at a small, intimate table here. We have Pole in the middle, and then flanking either side of you is Penny and Tully. You see Tully is kind of hunched over his flagon, eyes just peering right over the brim, looking right at Penny. And Penny, same thing with her little thimble, just eyes watching Tully. And Tully offers, cheese? Do you have an opinion about cheese? He kind of looks at you, Pole.
I'm like, I don't eat cheese, Tully. I don't think she eats cheese either.
Okay, maybe not cheese then. He kind of wipes away beads of sweat on his face. He looks desperately at you, Pole. This is not going well.
Well, you know what? You know what's important today? I think a captain's going away for a little bit. You know what that means?
Does that mean I'm the captain now?
Well, no, it just means it's Naked Day.
Hold on. I gotta roll. Okay, you see Tully beginning to unbutton his shirt.
Yeah.
Penny is
We better
just
get
like,
back to the
what?
ship. Is this thing we do when the captain gave everyone permission to have Naked Day whenever she's gone, so it's what we do. It's nice. It's very, very liberating, very freeing. You don't like that,
Okay.
Penny? I mean,
I mean,
you don't wear a lot of clothes.
I don't. I suppose. She begins like unbuttoning, unlacing her boots. Hannah is just kind of like looking nervously between your table and looking helplessly over at Garen. And then we'll have the camera sort of pan away from the shenanigans inside the snapping line. KayBee, where are you this morning?
Yeah, so Malaya, our cook on the boat, occasionally she needs a day off. And today is her day off. So that kind of, KB's in the kitchen. He's been in the kitchen all morning into midday. And he's just been a flurry through the kitchen, taking care of everybody's request. And I think, Garen had stopped in earlier, kind of looked in there, and it's like, oh, wow, what a zoo. And he just like, maybe he wandered off.
Mm-hmm.
But KayBee has got every burner on all the stoves lit up and different pots boiling and something in the oven and trays spread out, and just everything is being cooked today. KayBee is like doubling down, going in try hard mode, trying to satisfy everybody to prove that he can still carry it.
Yeah, amidst the chaos here, Malaya is gone. You don't see any trace of her. And I think in the middle of your cooking, you see Imloth, the first mate, her head pop into the kitchen. She says, KayBee,
Yes, Firsty.
I just wanted to let you know that the captain and I are going to have a day today. There are a matter of things that we need to discuss.
You're going on a date?
No, it is
Oh, you're a day.
a day, yes.
Sounds great.
So I suppose that means it's going to be you who's in charge of the ship today. Good luck. And her head just slips away.
What?
And then there's 3 more heads that appear. They are Zarek and Digby and Fidelity. The 3 heads pop into the doorway. Are we gonna have bacon?
Yes. Yeah, coming right up.
And you hear a cheer come from the mess hall.
There's bacon.
Another cheer from the mess hall.
God, get busy. Who could help? Hey, you, grab an apron.
Agni kind of pans over to look at you, this very stern, serious-looking dwarf who you know to be your quartermaster. Is that an order?
No, please, maybe. You stir that pot. Just kind of go slow like this. Just like that, yeah.
Oh, all right.
I'll
Reluctantly,
teach you.
he begins to help you. All right, you want to teach him? Go ahead and roll me.
Cook's utensils.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. Okay, a 12. Well, let's see how he rolls against you. Okay, you find that Agni is a very quiet student. He doesn't really ask any questions or ask for any clarifications on things. He takes everything quite literally.
I knew you were going to be good at this. You didn't know you're a natural.
Like, you say, like, put the knife in the peanut butter, and he ends up putting, like, the handle into the peanut butter, and he just leaves it there. And
That works too, I guess.
but by the end of it, it's more helpful than not having extra hands.
There you go.
Yeah.
I try my best to satisfy everybody.
Okay.
And
go
when it comes to
ahead.
captaining stuff, I guess just like put that on the list right there. We'll figure that out.
Why don't you give me another cook's utensils roll to see how well your cooking turned out?
This is important.
I don't know. I would say you would have advantage, but Agni didn't really help. I'll be honest.
I would say that I'll definitely be assessing what the crew is saying about the food, because you know what they say. They say a bitching sailor is a happy sailor. When they get quiet, it's a whole different circumstance.
Okay. Yeah. That's a 16. All right. By the time that you kind of sit back, you're tired, you're sweaty, you're stinky, you pan your attention over to the mess hall, and you just hear a roar of laughter. You hear shit breaking in the other room, and someone pops their head in. It happens to be Ragnhild, this dwarf with these curly, coppery locks, and they go, "Do you got more?"
Yeah. There's always more. There's leftovers
That-
and
that
there's
one right there.
extras. Yeah,
They just
take it
walk
all.
in and they just take the whole pot and then they head out into the mess hall.
Yeah, that makes me so happy.
But what do you do after?
Yeah, I guess now that I've been made captain of the day, that sounds pretty serious. So I almost perhaps even leave a mess behind it, which is definitely not KB's nature. And I get about walking about the ship to see what else looks like it might be a problem, might need to be addressed.
Okay. Can I get a perception check from you? You do
Ooh,
see
yeah.
that Quick is among those who are enjoying the foodstuffs. With a 15 perception, you do notice that Friend is missing.
That's okay. I think for a little while, I just like, okay, Friend is going to do what Friend is going to do, probably root around. But I guess as it gets into the morning and I don't see Friend, knowing that Friend is, probably make his rounds investigating things. And eventually, though, he's going to come back, right? Maybe Friend will bring, maybe he finds a mouse or maybe finds a trinket.
I think that it's probably fair to say, especially because Friend takes on the guise of an owl. Like, even though Friend isn't literally an owl, I like to think that, you...
There's probably some mannerisms.
Yeah,
still.
right, that just kind of begin to bleed through. I think it's probably been pretty normal up until this point that Friend visits you at night.
Okay.
Or at least checks in with you, gives you a mouse, gives you a piece of paper that literally just doesn't have anything on it. Just things and just checking in on you.
Perfectly folded square piece of paper.
That is such an old callback. Oh my god. Most people are not going to understand that. Wow. Yeah, last night Friend did not check in.
Yeah. Friend. Look in my room. Go down below decks and look in the rafter where I found him before.
Nowhere. You ask around. I haven't seen him.
Anybody see Friend?
No. Break something. Eats more.
Ask the pseudo dragon. Ask all the pets what they've seen.
Nobody.
Oh dang. Well, I guess I better do something about this. So I'm gonna go in my room and open up my spell book and go through the ritual casting of Find Familiar. I want to find my familiar.
Okay, let's see. How does Find Familiar work? Do they just ping pong into existence next to you?
Generally, yes. Although it's a ritual casting. And you manifest it with bits and pieces and charcoal and herbs and spices.
Okay, appears in an unoccupied space. Okay. Yeah, so as you begin to cast your spell here, what does it look like as you're setting it up?
Yeah, so this being a ritual cast, he references the spell book. Of course, he's much more of an artificer than a wizard per se. So his spell book looks pretty darn new. And in fact, there's only a few pages that are populated with spells. And that might embarrass other wizards, but really, people know that KayBee is tool time. He's all about the tools. So he's happy to have that spell book and pristine page, perfectly written, manicured script as it was transcribed there. And it's spread out. And you've got all these components that he has to assemble. Of course, being a craftsperson, KayBee likes to tinker and to give things form and shape. So he's got charcoal and he's got sands and all these materials. And of course, he incorporates other things such as wood. He loves carving, whittling a piece of wood. So he makes this in a little shape of an owl. It's got little eyes, pinches of soot for the eyes, and he makes the shape of the owl. As he's chanting, he kind of paces back and forth and references the book. It seems to take an extraordinary amount of time. Other wizards probably do it much quicker. And with the final words of the casting, there's a glow that rises up out of this form that he has kind of assembled from the materials. And normally it'll manifest and go woof, and a puff of smoke, and there will be the familiar, the spirit from the distant realms manifest into a form of his friend.
I think there's generally a bit of a softness, a bit of a light and gentle air when you cast a spell and when Friend appears. Unfortunately, this particular moment, as you cast Find Familiar, Friend does appear, but he appears to be quite distressed. A flutter of feathers come loose, and Friend is fluttering his wings wildly, almost as if he was trying to fight to escape something. You see
No.
that there's some blood on the feathers.
Oh no.
Friend doesn't seem to be hurt, but seems to have been in some kind of altercation with something. And you see that amidst his talons, there's a scrap of scarlet fabric that has been ripped free from something.
Come here, little buddy. Come here. Come here. And if you come to me, I kind of nestle him in the crook of my arm, and I pet his cheek with my thumb. It's gonna be okay.
It does
little
take
buddy.
a little bit of wrangling, but you manage to hold him against you, and his tiny body up against your chest, it quivers, and you can tell that he is so scared.
It's okay.
He's completely puffed up, and he's double in size from just bristling in fear.
I don't know what you saw, but you're okay now. You're with me. It's okay. Look at me. I look down at his little eyes. Look at me. It's gonna be okay.
You see his head turn in the way that owl heads do, and he looks up at you, and his big two saucer eyes are almost watery and wet as they stare up into you. And all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. You have drawn the Donjon card.
Oh no. And I saw there was a red ribbon. Did that get left behind? Did that get tangled around my finger and I've got it?
Roll me a dex save.
I don't know.
An 8? No. It's gone.
I felt it.
Yeah, you felt it. So it would have felt... It wasn't a fine material. It was a bit coarser.
You said it was
lower
red?
quality. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a
okay.
dark red. Makes you think something kind of canvas-like almost.
Okay. Burlappy.
Yeah.
Now previously I heard a few talking about red ribbons. I think Arlen had spoken about red ribbons tied around people's wrists and things of that sort.
I think it was
I'm gonna
also Garen.
Garen as well? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask them when I see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, this isn't good. This is real bad. Yeah, so now I'm pacing back and forth. I'm trying to connect the dots, trying to understand.
You get the feeling that perhaps Friend was snatched away, resummoned somewhere else, summoned away from you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. I'm going to have to talk to my friends when I see them.
Okay. So the camera will pan away as you have this very chaotic morning. Finn, what is your morning like?
Well, I think Finn, was very interested in brunch, so he's probably gonna go eat brunch.
Okay. Did you want to have brunch with the crew, or did you want to have brunch over at the snapping line?
You know what? Let's go ahead and say I stayed at the ship, so with the crew. We'll just say that I
Okay.
stayed with the crew.
So you would be able to tell very quickly that there's something going on in the mess. There's something very special because it is completely crowded. Usually you'll have like part of the crew in the mess hall. This morning, every single person is in the mess hall. And they're all kind of, some people are having to stand, some people are like sitting on the edge of the long table that makes up the most of the room. So you have to kind of elbow your way in as you do, and you can see KayBee is just really busy in the background. And we'll say that Simona, the boatswain, this very composed orc woman, she comes up to you and she says, "Ah, Finn, good morning.
Morning?
I thought you were about. I saved this for you," and gives you a bowl of bacon soup.
Oh, great! And bacon goodness. I love it. Thank you.
Yes, I believe that meat was highly requested on the menu. We don't often get to have meat.
I heard
when we're
bacon
out.
was. I heard something about bacon being popular before, so I'm
Well-
kind of surprised by the bacon soup.
We wish to accommodate to all of the various dietary needs of the crew, and
Oh,
it
of
seems
course.
that today is just a special day to indulge.
Yes. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm glad that we finally got some things around here that meat wise that we can all have.
Do you wish to join
Um,
us?
Sure. I'll join
All
with you.
right, step aside. And you see her just kind of pick up somebody and move them, and then gives you a seat at the table. And you
Oh,
find
all
that
right.
as you're sitting here with everyone, that the spirits are really high. You see some people just preemptively beginning to throw off their shirts and just really enjoying the lack of oversight here. And you see that KayBee begins to wander off in the background, and breakfast is a very social event today. There's pretty much everyone in the crew except for Imloth and Malaya. Everyone else is there. What do you want to do?
I think Finn will sort of have sort of eat lunch, and then whoever he was stuck with at the table, whatever table he got to sit at, he probably would chat with whoever was at the table, see how they are, see how morale is, see how everybody's doing. Kind
Okay.
of check in. I feel like, especially after the big battle, that we hadn't had a chance to really check in with everybody. So that'd be Finn sort of
Yeah.
like want to check in with everybody.
The crew seems to really enjoy your company. Simona even goes, she's sitting right next to you. She even goes to say, you know, we understand that your party are very renowned here in Saltmarsh. We know that you're very busy,
Yes.
and we are not so presumptuous for you to come sit at our table with every meal, but this is nice. We enjoy our time here on the Sea Lily. The leadership that Lady Arlen and all of the
yes.
rest of your friends, it has been wonderful. A lifestyle that most of us have not had the luxury to enjoy for a very long time.
Well, we try our best. A lot of them are busy. As you can see, KB's kind of running around being busy, with cooking, and no matter how busy it is, I think he loves doing what he does. But I don't know where Arlen is or where I believe the other two are in town as well, Garen and Paul. So, I'm here on the ship. I decided to come back on the ship to see how everybody was doing. So I feel like at least one of us should come and conversate with all of you at least once in a while.
As you say that, the camera kind of pans over to Book, this very intense-looking individual with hair shorn on one side of their head. They kind of stare into the distance. They say, I'm thankful I haven't had to kill anyone in a really long time.
That is something to be thankful of. I can't say quite that I can have said that after our little adventure we just had with, I don't remember the names of them at the moment, but these monsters that came out of the water.
As you say that, everyone all at once just kind of leans forward. They're like, what happened?
Oh, you hadn't heard? Well, I guess yeah. We've all.
I mean, we've all heard all the rumors.
Oh well, then what's the rumors? I can debunk and debunk and clarify whatever needs to be clarified.
Okay, so we'll montage this a little bit. Essentially, you hear just a bunch of really ludicrous things that just kind of come up left and right.
Oh, God, no.
And you have the ability here to either... You can do whatever you want, of course, but if you want to potentially twist it a certain way, or if you want to just literally clarify everything, what do you want to do here?
More or less, I think Finn will just tell the story how it really went. How like we were battling everyone, how Ireland did the little kind of magic trick, and kind of put a little emphasis on how kind of cool that was with lightning and everything. Kind of a fun little show. And then he will say that yeah, we defeated everyone. We're kind of surprised you guys hadn't heard of anything because one of the other monsters had kind of came into town, from what the council told us. And if anybody comes around here. I think they're all out of town now, but if anybody else comes into town saying that they want a duel against me, do not believe them at all. It's a lie. I simply made them feel like they won, so we could move on and team up against these creatures from the sea. If we'd continued to fight them, I don't think any of us would have made it.
Digby
So-
kind of just like slams his hand on the table. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that no one could beat Finn. I knew it. I knew they were just full of shit.
I knew that was gonna be. I figured that was gonna be one of the damn rumors. Yeah, no, no, don't believe what they say.
I think in general, your willingness to share the story just really bolsters the morale here, and it adds this air of camaraderie, a closeness with the crew that perhaps is a bit warmer and a bit more substantial than it was before breakfast. And you find that breakfast beginning to wind down. A couple of people, specifically Simona and Agni, they begin to go about cleaning where KayBee hasn't already, and the others begin to disperse. What do you want to do now?
As everyone kind of disperse, I think Finn will go into the kitchen, kind of check on KayBee. Kind of come in and be like, KayBee, are you okay? You need a rest? You need any help with anything?
You need to stir that pot. That's for lunch. That's
Oh.
a big spoon right there. Yeah. pick that up.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, what? He smells
No,
it. What is it?
Spin it the other way.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's cabbage and crab. It's really good.
Oh, ooh, yes. For anyone who loves seafood, this will probably be
Slow. Let the heat work. Yeah. Oh, very good. Keep going like that for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So I think it's working out okay. Everybody seems to be in a really good mood today. They all had a really good appetite.
It was packed out there.
I know, right? Yeah, and a lot of people had the big belly and just like, I think they're really happy.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I know Malaya's a great cook, but
I think there's just a little bit of wonder with every one of us, where they're like, oh, one of the KayBee's cooking for us. Oh, it's a special event sort of thing. Because when I was talking to them, they seemed really happy that I took time out of our schedule a little bit to sit and talk with them and tell them about our battle we were just on. So
well, I think that's important. I think
for sure.
we have to really think about how the crew feels. You know, do they want to be here? Because if they don't want to be here, then that's not good.
They
right?
all seem happy. I didn't hear anyone outright say they don't want to be here, so I would assume everything's good on that end.
Imlof said that I was in charge today, and I never really been in charge before. I know that I've heard people say that to be a leader means that to be a servant, right? If you're gonna do something, you gotta serve the people that you work with. So how do you do that? What do you think?
Well, yeah, you kind of just have to go with your best instincts. When I was on my own for a while, I had to kind of deal with my best instincts and how to kind of fight through things or traverse through things. I would just say go with your gut. You know, I mean, obviously don't jump into something not quite knowing what's going on, but use your best guess, and usually it'll work out.
I like that. That sounds really good. I was kind of thinking maybe, I know they got their duties, things they got to do every day. They got to clean and they got to repair stuff and things like that. And they do training and things like that. But I was kind of thinking maybe, what do you think? Maybe we'll do a dance party today.
Sure. Yes. I would prepare, however. I don't know, and Finn will kind of look out. Is there maybe there a calendar or something someone probably eventually put up?
Yes, so there's a calendar, and it's specifically very obviously created by Tully.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's marked on it is the number of naked days that y'all have had.
Okay.
And
Well,
predictions of when the next naked day will be.
Well, it looks like we're predicted for a naked day soon. So
I'll make it so then, okay?
Okay, I don't think that Olin's coming back tonight, so let the crew have their fun.
Yep. I grab up a pot and a spoon, and I beat it like a drum, and I yell, "Naked Day!"
Oh lord. Oh,
You hear
Lord.
some clapping and shouting in the background. So we'll pan away from the two of you and return back to the snapping line where Tully and Penny are beginning to strip down and naked day. Garen, you see all of this. You see
Garen's
that Hannah is just like, faceplant.
Garen's scratching Barnacus's neck and just like, yeah, well. All right, I think I need to get you a harness, little dude. And then he'll take Barnacus to the leather workers to get him fitted for a harness and then go back to the boat.
Okay. Paul, you do see that Garen is here. And Tully and Penny seem to be having some fun running around the tavern now.
All right. Oh hey, we aren't really supposed to have naked day in the tavern per se. We should probably go back to the ship for naked day. That's what really we celebrated on the ship. Let's go.
Tully looks very seriously at Penny. Do you want to race? Penny gets this sort of mischievous look. You run. And then, pew! They both start taking off, leaving you in the dust pole.
Well, they aren't weighed down by all those clothes. I'll pick up their clothes and put them in my haversack, and then I'll head off to meet them on the ship.
And as you're like kind of moving out the front door, we see a lingering shot of Hannah, and she just sighs a breath of relief and continues to serve the other patrons, some of which have cocked eyebrows and they're very concerned about what just happened, and others that just kind of shrug and continue. This isn't their first bout with Tully. They understand. All right. Garen, so as you begin to hunt out a leather worker, there actually happens to be one here in Saltmarsh.
Number 11.
That's right. You head on over to Kester's Leather Goods. You see Kiorna is currently working away at curing this beautiful hide right outside of her shop. As you begin to approach, she turns her head. She looks over at Barnacus, leans back. Hi, good morning.
Hi. Don't worry, he's gentle. For the most part. But he is a bit rambunctious. I could use a harness and a leash for walking him.
You're probably going to want something sturdier than what I have. I have a few things that are fashioned for horses, but it's gonna take a while to fit it to this guy. Or I can make something custom for you.
Well, either works, whichever's easier on you.
Well, either way, it's gonna be 100 gold.
Okay.
You just have 100 gold and you're just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Garen's sitting on $5.99, so.
Okay, you kind of just drop the money and her jaw drops. What color do you want?
What color is Barnacus?
That's a great question. What color is
Yeah.
Barnacus?
I'm gonna go with that. He's got like the light tan doe color, but then his head is black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you see this like soft sandy color with some dark spots. Very good for like ambushing things, like maybe like autumn time when
Right.
like stuff begins to brown. You know that Barnacus is going to be an absolute menace in the forest.
Right. Yeah. I think probably something brown
All right. Give me a week.
Okay.
Okay. She takes this big sack of money. Goes inside. She comes out and she takes measurements. All right. See you in a week.
Okay. And hopefully we're either not gone or back from wherever we're going in a week.
Very good. And you begin to head back to the ship afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. So as everyone more or less at various points begin to congregate back towards the ship, there's a moment where you're all sort of hanging out on the top deck. And you hear the sound of click, 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 click. Someone's heels as they begin to make their way up the platform that bridges your ship to the dock. And you see standing right at the edge is the illustrious character that can only be Galen Primewater in his very gallant, extraordinarily embroidered jacket, his very large hat with the swooping feather that's almost the arm span of a grown man. This very dapper looking individual with his jeweled cane. He clonks it down, announcing his arrival. Well, good morning. I was hoping to find you here. I come as the bearer of news from the Saltmarsh Council. I only thought it would be appropriate for me to hand deliver this with such great honor. And he gives a very wildly graceful flourish.
I pat up to him. I am stark naked. And
Oh, heavens, my eyesight!
so what's interesting about KayBee, normally KayBee is wearing armor or clothes or whatever else. KayBee is covered, other than his face and his hands, he's covered in hair, head to toe. Mm-hmm. Being Fenadiri, they are hairy, fey creatures. They're basically a ball of hair. And KayBee, to conform with societal expectations, shaves his hands and his face to be presentable. So KayBee is just this huge mass of brown hair, just a hairy creature. Mr. Primewater. Yeah, hi. Good seeing you. I'm the captain of the day. How are you doing?
Oh, I see there's an event of some sort.
Yeah, special event
today. Did your washing
today?
tub break? Do you need a replacement? Is that what's going on?
No. It's just a regular scheduled event.
Oh, well, I'm not one to judge.
There's going to be dance competitions later if you hang around.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Do you have any wine?
Come on aboard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you see that Primewater begins to saunter on. He appears to be very amused. You see the blush that was across his cheeks begin to fade very quickly. I was simply startled. I didn't know what to expect, but no, this is... I love the energy. They're fantastic.
I call for wine, and I think this is probably the point where it turns into from a regular day to naked day to now it's like a party day.
Yeah, okay. A whole party just begins to break out. And I think at some point Galen seems to forget that he came here to give you a literal letter. He kind of just tucks it away. He's like, oh, wine. Oh, this vintage. He just sniffs it and he's able to identify exactly what kind of bottle it came from. And I think it even evolves into and people begin to pour out various drinks, and he's somehow able to perfectly accurately identify each and every one. And you see that he's flushed by the time he's had a few drinks, and we'll say that Galen looks around and he says, you have a musician amongst your people. Where are they?
There's a few. Pole is really good. We got a couple. Yeah. Hey, music. Who's got some music?
Any music?
Coming right up.
Oh, yes. It's only appropriate. Let us have dance. I can show you a move or two. And
All right. So Paul is going to start singing his racy songs with his magic lute, and he's gonna make illusions come along with it. And the whole object of this thing is to get this guy to take off his clothes.
okay. All right. Can I get a performance at advantage check from you?
All right.
Hell yeah. He begins to dance. He's copying. Oh my god, that's a 22. He begins to dance, and you see him beginning to unbutton his very, very beautiful coat. And he just swings it over his head. And over the course of the song, and the dancing, and the singing, and the drinking, he joins. And you have Galen Primewater butt-ass naked on your boat with you. Anyone with a keen eye paying attention would have seen that he had a lot of layers of really just outrageously fancy clothes on. And his pockets were very heavy when he dropped his jacket. Butt naked, he reaches down, he holds up the letter, he says, I was supposed to deliver this to you.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, yes. It's just a simple missive inviting you over to the Saltmarsh Council Town Hall as per usual to seek an audience with the blah 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 blah. It's more wine.
I pop it open and just take note of when.
Okay. It is in like 2 hours. And if any of you have been trying to keep up with the drinking, you're plastered. Galen Primewater is definitely plastered.
So Arlen will definitely regret her absence. So I think the party continues, and I take a note. I kind of look off the ship onto the dock. What are the people in the surrounding area? What's their opinion of our boat?
Roll me an insight check.
Oh, I suck at that.
16. Okay. As you're kind of peering over, what is everyone else doing? Are you enjoying? Paul, I know that you're providing music, but are you also letting loose as well?
Oh yeah, he's naked and shit-faced.
Hell yeah, and Tully's right there next to you. I think Penny is too. In fact, I think Penny and Tully are dancing together.
Awesome.
As well as they can. Just like Tully's like holding out a finger and Penny's just dancing in the air.
When Paul sees that, he's gonna change the music to be specifically for them, and change all of the illusions to be specifically for them. And they're gonna be like spotlit, basically, like they're like the main characters in a dance movie.
Oh, I love this.
That's
You see
so
a few
cool.
tears forming in people's eyes as they look on. And they begin to like kind of dance a circle around them. It's a really sweet moment. But what about Finn? Are you partying?
I think Finn honestly is sort of just scoping stuff around. He never really is a big drinker per se. So I think he's just like, he'll take a drink or so, maybe a little bit of water so afterwards or whatever else we have, and then kind of go to a drink. So feeling that at least 2 or 3 of our members are probably just going to go shit-faced. He feels like there should at least be 1 or 2 that are, sound-ish mind.
I love it. Yes. Finn.
Someone's got to be responsible.
Finn activating the brain cell of the party. I love it. Okay. What about Garen? You're muted.
Muted.
Sorry, yeah. All right, pulling it in. Yeah, Garen's not much of a drinker either, so he might nurse a glass of wine. And he's also interested in what's Ella doing right now.
Oh, Ella is sitting
Walked
off
away.
to the side, and she's clapping. You see that she's just sitting there, and she's enjoying, and she's singing occasionally, but she is not dancing.
I think Garen would probably go over and sit by her.
Okay, you sit next to Ella, and as you do, she looks at you and smiles and says, I very much enjoy the energy of the crew here. Everyone has been very welcoming and very kind to involve me.
Good. I'm glad you are making yourself at home.
I did find some good work in the research last night, making good progress.
Good to hear. But don't worry about that right now. Just relax, have fun.
She begins to clap again as she's watching Tully kind of just butt cheeks jiggling by. She's like, excellent. KayBee, as you're looking around at that 16 insight, you see that there's a mixed opinion. You see that some people are kind of looking longingly like, man, I signed up for the wrong ship. Do you know if they're recruiting? And you see that a few people kind of roll their eyes. Some people just don't. They just mind their own business. They don't pay much mind at all.
So, what is our normal practice? And when things unfold like this, do we have some crew who keep their wits about them?
You definitely do. There's never any pressure to drink for anybody, and it's always welcoming to everyone to just enjoy however they want to enjoy.
So if I look down and I see what appears to be happy, friendly people, I'm like, come on board, join the party.
Okay, roll me another insight check. Nat 20.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
21. Okay. Yeah, you see some people that you've noticed that they've made a couple of different rounds, that they seem to be loading and offloading ships. They're definitely locals, and they look very physically tired.
Hey you, why don't you take a break? Come on up and join Naked Day.
I've got a whole days of work. I've got a family to feed. I can't just abandon this.
Okay, come back later.
All right, yeah, and you see them just kind of wander off. See another person that just like kind of appears out of nowhere.
Hey you want to get naked?
They kind of strip and just run onto the ship and just help themselves. You see Agni, your quartermaster, doesn't indulge in anything. He's just he has his hands folded at the small of his back. He's standing off to one side. See, the most that he's doing is he's just tapping his foot to the rhythm. But that's it. Otherwise, just completely stoic.
And meanwhile, probably his mind, he's thinking about the food stores and things like that.
Maybe.
And how many casks of liquor have been tapped.
Yeah, you do definitely see that. He pulls out his little book every time someone comes out of the stores. He just scribbles something, puts it away. Simona also doesn't drink. She has like a drink, but she seems to be kind of fussing over whenever someone like falls over. She goes to check on them, make sure they're all right. Yeah, I'll be fine. Just walk it off.
So I encourage Paul to like come to that side of the ship, on the dock side of the ship, and maybe sit there as he's playing his music. And we ensure that we take the opportunity, like, hey, come on aboard. Encourage people to come and join the party. And I kind of elbow Paul. It's like, maybe we can get Naked Day to spill out into Saltmarsh.
Maybe it'll become a civic holiday?
I know, right?
That would be great.
Okay.
Gotta spread
We
the
never
joy.
have to wear clothes anywhere.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check. At advantage. I'll give that to you. Everyone's having a great time. 23. All right. You can see some people muttering and whispering to one another as they're walking away from the ship, their eyes wide and curious.
Come on, leave your troubles at the door and your pants.
You'll see that about like 3 people begin to join the group of you. And some measure of time passes by. We'll say that the party begins to wind down. And all of a sudden the music's cut short as Galen Primewater's head just kind of pops up. His hat askew. He's only wearing his hat. And he's like, "Oh, we've got a meeting to head to.
We late?
He begins to pull on his clothes. Yep, they're gonna start without us.
I guess.
Off we go.
All right. Where did my cane go? All right. It
Paul
doesn't
puts
matter.
on somebody's clothes, but probably not necessarily his own.
So I put, I think, Simona. Yeah, put Simona. She's, I think, is a bosun. She's equivalent of third in charge after the first mate. So
Yep.
leave the ship in her capable hands.
Okay. She says, "All right, KayBee, I'll do my best. Good luck." And Galen Primewater begins to lead you from the docks in the direction of Town Hall. You know that Town Hall's not too far away, and there's definitely a bit of a wobble to his step, and he says, "Oh, can one of you help me walk? I don't have my cane with me."
Yeah, just put your hand right here.
Oh, are you sure about that?
That's fine.
Oh, your hair is so soft.
And I got the front of my shirt is open, and I have a very hairy chest exposed.
Nice. So the group of you take the short distance to the town hall. And as the doors kick open, you see the rest of the council is already there in conversation. I think this is a perfect place for us to take a quick break. We'll do a little break here, do a little stretchy, grab some water and some snacks, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So please join us in taking care of yourselves. Be right back, everybody. Thank you, GeekDice, for the 3 card draws. We're going to go ahead and resolve that right away. Garen, tell me when to stop.
I think maybe now.
Actually have gotten better at shuffling because I've been playing a lot of physical Magic the Gathering.
Ooh.
Ooh, fancy.
And we harass you a lot about how bad you are on shuffling and make
Yeah.
you shuffle for a while.
Pole, you're up next.
I won't extend it. Now is good.
Okay. And Finn.
What do you think, buddy? Should we stop?
Okay, some good cards. Cool. All right, thank you so much, GeekDice. All right, so the reuniting in the Saltmarsh Council Hall. I'm gonna just fast forward through this because this is just a recap of like what you're supposed to do. You essentially meet up with Ida Oland and all the other. We'll say that the only person missing happens to be Anders. And if queried, Ida will sort of gesture her hand and say, "Oh, our dear sweet Anders unfortunately was not feeling well, but I will send your regards." Moving
That's good.
forward, you see that there are, as last time, there is a lizard folk representative present. There is a Lokatha hunter also present, and a bathtub has been shoved inside, and there is a merfolk here with the group of you as well. The map that you had seen before is presented to you again, and we will take everyone to the map screen.
Ooh.
Do I get over here? Okay. So, you see Saltmarsh here, represented by the owl. That is where you are currently present. As the map is drawn out, it is identified to you that you must look further west along the coast. As you pan up along the map, you see the lizard folk lair, and you see the Dunwater River. And it is revealed to you that the fortress is here. Right at the mouth of the river, further west of the Dunwater River. Yes, all the way there. It doesn't have a name on the map, so I don't know what it's named. But essentially, deep into the Hool Marshes is where you must go. The lizard folk scout that presents the map to you says, "It will be about 2 days' time if you take your ship. Longer if you go by foot. What approach do you think that your party of elite adventurers would like to take?"
So where's our final destination? Is it the fortress or is it inland?
It is the fortress. And Ida Oland will remind you that you have a couple of different goals here for your mission. Your mission is to not go out and have all-out war. Your mission is something that's more reconnaissance. They want information. They want to be able to identify the strength and the numbers of the Sahagin force. How many warriors do they have? How many lieutenants do they have? How many battle-ready individuals? They want you to locate important areas where the barracks are, essentially the layout of what they have going on. They want you to discover if there's any defensive measures, any traps, essentially. And they want you to discover how they're preparing and when they might mount their first attack. And I'll write this all down for you guys.
Yep,
But
that sounds
essentially
good.
4 goals.
We got all that. We got all that. Yeah, so we'll leave in our ship, but we're going to consider I look at my teammates, consider our tactics. So we'll figure it out.
Agreed.
Yes. As you can see by the individuals gathered here, Ida Olin gestures to the representatives of the various tribes. We are in hopes of joining forces, together banding our might and expertise to determine how to best move forward. War is upon us, but we need to know the extent of our enemy. I'm sure that you've seen over the last few weeks the refugees and the folks that have come in. And it's true, you would remember seeing the cluster of merfolk and Locatha that have begun to make kelp beds in the docks, and there are camps of lizard folk just outside of Saltmarsh as well. This has been slowly building over time. You would have definitely heard about them as well from just table talk.
Now, I think we've had a few engagements with the council before where some of these allied people's representatives were present.
Mm-hmm.
Have we spoken to them, the Sahagin representative, etc., lizard folk representative, not Sahagin, but the lizard folk and Locatha? And if such, then KayBee would ask, do we have maybe an expert on the Sahagin, somebody who can accompany us and that can just help us get eyes on, so we understand if there's something that unexpected.
You would remember that the individuals that are here at the council right now are the same people from before.
Yes.
So they are definitely the designated appointees.
Right. So in essence, I'm looking to see if they can volunteer. Maybe one of their people as a scout, somebody who's an expert on the Sahagin.
Mm-hmm. You see Vith, one of the 2 lizard folk scale shields that had accompanied you, that left the lizard folk lair with you to come here.
Okay, so we traveled. They traveled.
They traveled with you, yeah.
Yes,
and they're the one who procured this map and gave it to you. They say, "I will join you. I am very familiar with the general outline of the fortress. It is my belief that it has changed under Sahagin rule.
Excellent, excellent.
You have my spear.
Glad to have you.
Is it your intent to leave tonight?
No, I think we're gonna leave early tomorrow.
Morning.
Very good. And Ida Olin says, if there's anything you need, just let me know, and I can see if it can be quartermastered to you. Best of luck. We only have one shot at this. And as the champions of the competition, however unfortunate all of that and unnecessary it was, we are counting on you.
We'll do our very best. This is the right team, and we'll get back to you. I think we'll top off our supplies.
Good. Well then, the mission begins. Please remember that it is of the utmost importance that word of this does not leave this room. Galen is like drunk in his seat. He's like, here! Drinking another bottle of wine. I mean, not a bottle, a glass. He's classy, okay?
Eventually, it'll be a full bottle.
I was gonna say,
but one
is
glass.
Is he drunk enough where it's just a
Just
bottle at this point?
Look.
The buttons on his vest
Yeah.
are off by one.
Yes, definitely. He looks askew. It's really clear. There's no illusion that he's not sober. All right. So essentially, you are all dismissed. As the group of you step outside and the council doors close behind you, KayBee, you feel...
Did that go okay? I know I'm a little bit dizzy. Garen, can you make sure that we get all the stuff we need to top off our supplies? And I don't know what else we need.
Yeah, I'll check in with, what was the quartermaster's name?
Agni.
Yeah, I'll check in with Agni. Make certain that we get what we need ordered.
And Finn, we probably need to get the crew in bed so they can get up early, huh?
Yeah, we'll try and drag them as close as we can to their bed.
Okay.
But what about the refugees? I think we should get them some supplies too. Maybe they need food and blankets and such.
That's a great idea.
I'm gonna go in. So Pole's gonna head off, money jingling, and start buying
Pole.
blankets for people who live
It's on
underwater.
Ida Olin.
Stupid things like that.
Okay. Yeah, you will discover you could absolutely do that, and people are more than willing to take your money and give you their shit. But you find that when you are distributing all these, the refugees are absolutely thankful. But it is very apparent that Saltmarsh has taken it seriously, and the infrastructure to support the refugees is already in place. They are all dry, they're well fed, they're sheltered, but they're more than happy to take whatever you offer them.
They're dry unless they don't want to be dry, right?
Yes. Specifically, the merfolk and Lokatha are wet. The lizard folk are dry unless they want to be muddy. Like, everyone is very comfortable and obviously very welcome.
Paul just smiles. He's very happy. He's like, "Oh, Saltmarsh is way better than Ammonfoot. Give you that."
All right. So, is there anything that anyone wants to do for the rest of the night before the adventure begins?
So this is getting kind of serious. So KayBee is like,
Okay, no more drink for me, thanks. Yeah, gotta do this right.
so he hydrates.
Paul may not make it back, which isn't
Uh-oh.
unusual for him.
Ooh, okay.
So, he is really, really drunk and was wandering around town trying to find things to buy for Lokatha.
Okay. I love that. I'm gonna make Tully do a survival check to see if he can find you. He rolls 17. Like, Tully has no context to where you've gone, and somehow he's just like, sixth sense just hunted you out, and he's joined you, and he's helping you with whatever it is that you're doing in the moment. And, yeah. KayBee, with the night unfolding and coming to a close here, you find today has been a very fulfilling day. It is quite apparent to all of you that the crew is satisfied. The crew feels supported. They feel closer, and as everyone's going about the last minute preparations, preparing at dawn to take off, going about and filling the stores and all of the things, that there's a sense of pride. KayBee, as you see people passionately sweeping and mopping the docks and putting everything away where it should go and buttoning up the ship, essentially, what do we see? What do you do? How do you feel?
So, yeah, I think KayBee feels a little bit put on the spot because Arlen's not here. And, Arlen keeps things going in the right direction. So in some ways, maybe he's trying to emulate that, trying to ensure that the collective, everybody's doing the right thing. So as he sits on the deck and he sees people going about their task and things are winding up, he brings out his pipe, something that he doesn't enjoy every day. Excuse me. And he puffs on his pipe and just smiles.
By the way, all of you would know that Arlen has been gone all day for a good reason, and that it's a valuable and like worthwhile thing. It's not like she abandoned you or anything. We're never gonna punish players for not being at the table. But yeah, like as you're having this sweet, smoky moment here by yourself, you look up at the stars and you could almost swear you see one shoot across the sky. You
wow.
have drawn the comet card.
Ooh.
KayBee, you level up. You
my
did some
gosh.
very good captaining today.
Oh my
Heck
gosh.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Whoa.
So you see this star just arc
Good-
across the
good job,
sky.
KayBee.
And you pat yourself on the back. Excellent. Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
Just worry.
Very good. Paul, as you are wandering the streets of Saltmarsh with Tully, I think Tully has a small blanket that was rejected by whoever y'all were trying to give it to, and he's just kind of dragging it behind him, and it's catching on things, and it's dirty and muddy now. You come to a stop as Penny just flits down in front of your face, puts her hands on her hips. Paul, what do you think you're doing out here?
I just trying to go home.
Have you continued to drink? Have you been eating anything? Are you hydrated?
I think so.
You're heading the wrong way. Are you
Which
okay?
way? Yeah, well, where's the ship from here? I'll go.
Now hold on. And she does this thing where she kind of like whirls off to the side, and I presume that you probably watch her because she's like up close. And she puts her hand on your head, and of course she has inconsequential strength, but she's kind of urging you to lean back against the wall and sit on a crate here. Let's slow down for a second. Tell me what's on your mind.
Well, Refugees. I was trying to help the refugees. Yeah. That's what.
Well,
But I think I gotta go back to the ship because they're gonna leave in the morning.
that's true. That's why I came out here to find you.
Is it morning?
No. There's still some time for you to get some sleep.
That's good. I don't want to get in trouble.
Don't worry. I'm here.
Oh yeah, Arlen's away. No worries.
Do you think that you would get in trouble if Arlen was here?
Well, maybe. Definitely not with KayBee though. He's good.
Yeah.
Let you do whatever you like.
Well, we've always done whatever we like.
That's true. Yeah, but I'm trying to help, trying to help these people. They're good people. They want to help. And these Sogans are pretty bad,
Yeah.
so I'm told. Kicking people out of their homes and trying to kill them and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks over at Tully, and Tully's just kind of standing there, like, picking his nose. Well, all right. If you've got something on your mind, you tell me right away, okay?
Well, I missed you a lot.
I missed you
I
too.
mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the drinking. I guess I started drinking after you were gone. I guess I didn't feel like stopping. Most of the time, it's pretty fun. At least the first part.
Well, it's all right. I'm here now. I can keep an eye on you.
Good. All right. Well,
I
yeah.
wished you were gone for a while.
Sometimes I forget what I'm doing.
Me too. Tully just kind of looks around. Why do I have this? He sniffs the blanket. Ugh. Well, if you want to head back to the ship, you have to turn around. Follow me, okay?
All right, Penny. I always follow you.
We see her flit through the air and begin to guide you towards the docks. As you get safely back onto the ship, Tully collapses onto his side of your room. He pulls his muddy, stinky blanket over himself and he curls up in a cocoon and passes out. And you see Penny just sort of like plops herself down on a corner of your pillow and she's clonks out as well.
Yeah, Paul falls asleep partly on his bed. His legs are probably hanging off in his hips, but he gets his upper torso onto the bed.
I think your last thoughts for the night are ones of warmth and comfort. The people that you love and care about are safely on the ship, and very clearly, especially with the time that you spent with the refugees today, you see that they are displaced and they do need help. And they're getting some help here, but it's pretty clear that your mission's very important. It's going to affect all of these people that are seeking some kind of assistance. And with that, knowing you're doing something very important, I think you sleep very, very well tonight. In fact, when you wake up, you're going to be a little stronger. You have drawn the star card.
Nice.
You get to increase one of your ability scores by 1, cannot exceed 24.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go to Charisma 22.
Very nice. All right. Come morning, the ship prepares. You hear the ding-ding of bells and the pulling of ropes and sails unfurling as the Sea Lily begins to pull off of the docks and head towards the sea. You know with full confidence that everyone is back. Arlen and Imloth included are among the people on the ship right now. So you aren't leaving anyone behind. you begin to sail west.
Question.
Yeah.
So I think something that we probably should have mentioned is a good check of our armament
Mm-hmm.
to ensure that we are appropriately equipped for the potential of battle.
Okay.
Yeah,
That would have been something we would have looked at.
Yeah. We can
Yeah.
definitely go over the logistics and stuff like that.
I think Garen would have taken the role of KB's acting first officer and gotten Agni in touch with Ida's quartermaster, and then gotten with Simona and done a tour of the boat, made certain everything was ready to sail. And I can't remember if we've got any cannons, but he would have checked in on those, made certain they were ready too.
Also check
There are no
over
cannons.
the
Okay.
boat for any needed repairs. Just a general maintenance check to look. And when KB reflected upon, there had been a moment some time before. I think he had wished upon a star, and he had hoped
Mhm.
for something special about the boat. You may remember that.
Yep, I
I
do.
do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you check in with Simona, and Simona goes to tell you, well, KB, I will say that there's something quite unique with this ship. I, as a boatswain, have repaired many ships in my time, of many makes. But nothing like this. I can't quite explain it, but I think,
What?
in a way, the ship is alive.
It's part of the crew. I think it's the people.
Maybe. I could have sworn this plank right here, knock knock, it had a massive crack in it the other day. I checked with all the crew. No one repaired it. I didn't repair it. So, either we've got someone living in the crawl spaces and fixing things,
That's kind of cool.
or the ship. I don't know. I don't have enough information. Anyway, that's to say, the ship is in great condition.
That's the love of the crew. I
Yes,
like it.
Hmm.
I have nothing to report.
Good.
Yeah. I would say since Garen was Garen was doing this, I'd say he was there for this conversation too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Simona. Do you have any paint on board?
Paint.
Yeah. Next time you see a cracked board, put some paint on it. See if it's still the same board.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I don't think we have any paint, but I'm sure
somewhere.
Malaya can make some kind of dye.
Yeah, just some way to mark it. That way we can say, yeah, it's a different plank or something. Try
Yes,
to make sense of it.
that
Whether it's
sounds
a good thing or not, I don't like unknowns.
Nor do I. Very good. I can do this for you.
All right.
And then we cut to like Agni having a conversation with you, and they say, well, I've commissioned a number of instruments and tools that we might need for the Gotcha. Essentially, I've got enough weapons for everyone. In the case that we do need to have a battle. But I would like to remind you that not everyone on the ship has combat experience or training.
Yeah, it's important that people be able to defend themselves in some manner.
Yeah, and if everything goes right, no one will need to. This is reconnaissance, but as that is my specialty, I can tell you it doesn't always go as planned. So I'd rather we make certain we have what we need.
Very good. Yes. In the case that combat does break out on the ship, no one will be left without something to defend themselves with. Any other questions or logistic things that we want to handle? You've got enough rations. Malaya tells you that essentially the boat is stocked for a month. The expected travel time is about 2 days to get there, and probably 2 days back.
Hmm.
I think the officers of your ship, the higher ranking individuals, kind of join together with you, and they, as you go over your plan of going on to explore the fortress, you'll ration out about a week. You'll have up to 7 days on land before they'll start to worry, or possibly even leave or send a search party out for you. What is the plan that you want to do in general?
Well, I think we're gonna develop the tactics and try to employ as many of our capabilities as possible, whether they be underwater, over air, stealth, observation. Bring all those non-combat things to bear, even spells and magic. So it's probably a whole spectrum of capabilities.
Okay. Very good. I think it'll probably be best to go over this with Arlen, with the group. So meanwhile, as we're sailing along, you do have some options here for where you want to go. You have to head west. There's a few things along the way that you could stop by and check out. You do know that while the information that you bring back is very important, that time is not really critical. You can kind of take your time with it. So you are passing by Abbey Island, which is what you recently cleared.
We did not get fully paid
Cleared.
for that, correct? Did we get paid or not fully paid?
I think you did. The money
got
was
paid.
dropped off. Yeah.
We got paid for it.
Yeah. Y'all said the island was clear of undead.
Well, we did say mostly
We
clear.
did say mostly. We were honest. We said
Okay,
mostly.
okay. Yeah. You did surrender the necklace, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. So
I
they're
think
equipped
Arlen
with the
was-
ways to deal with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think Ireland was pained to part with it, but yes, she
Okay.
did.
Yeah, so you have the original lighthouse where Major Ursa was, the Abbey Island. You have charted on your map that there's a blue hole. There's the lizard folk lair if you want to stop by, or you can just explore westward. What do y'all want to do? What's the plan?
All
No.
the things.
What do you?
Yeah, I know Ireland was very interested in the blue hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Ew.
All right. In that case, as the group begins to sail westward, I think that this will be a good place for us to stop. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the raise. Thank you so much for the cards. We have 2 cards left. We have one for Garen and then one for Finn. We'll carry those over into next time. But for now, can I get everyone to please tell me who you are, where we can find you, tell me what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we're going to go ahead and start with Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I'm Z. I'm whatever the 3 names that call me. I'm the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, so that's up to your own discretion. I play Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher hunter who has an affinity for the undead. due to many reasons in his life, one being family and everyone he knows in a town kind of got ravaged, and the other not quite completely revealed to everybody yet. Favorite part of today was probably just the whole sort of the crew kind of getting together, having a party, morale kind of being up, and just sort of everyone enjoying their time, getting oh god, Anders, was it Anders? No, who was it?
Gallon Prime Water.
Gallon Prime Water,
Yeah.
sorry. Getting Gallon Prime Water to like, okay, sure, and just like party and get drunk and
I was not
like-
expecting that. I'll let you know.
yeah, if
Yeah.
sure you were, that wasn't
Yeah.
great. And then as always, anything with Pull and Tully is always just fun and always probably always the highlight of this whole stream.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, John had to go deal with something. Thank you so much, John, for being here. If you want to check out John's stuff, there's some links here in chat. John made some really awesome games.
Yes.
They are very fun. They are very rules light, so they're easy to digest and get into. You can find them at indicarus.itch.io. We'll hop on over to Godfather.
As I remember to unmute this time. So hi, I'm Tim. I really don't have a presence on social media. But you can pretty much find me here in Stella's chat whenever she's live or various other members of the community that stream. So I would say my favorite part of today was also the naked party day. Because that wasn't just naked day, that was naked party.
True. And not just naked party, it's trying to incept this idea to be culturally accepted in Saltmarsh.
Right?
Oh,
Dear.
so good. I love that you had that walk with Barnacus in the
Oh
morning.
god.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Wait, is Barnacus on the boat?
He did bring Barnacus back to the boat.
Okay, Barnacus is going on an adventure.
Yep.
Excellent, thank you so much. GeekDice.
Hey, I'm GeekDice. I'm still not back on socials after a couple year hiatus. I'm waiting for Elon Musk to fulfill his promise that he's going to free up all the names on the Twitter. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm playing KayBee, who is a battlesmith, artificer, a blade singer wizard, and now is a fighter as he fulfills his destiny to become a warrior and a hero. Definitely enjoying the development of the character there. So today, I think my favorite moment was the tender moment between Pull and Penny Sprinkle. She definitely has his back. There's that's a magical relationship, and I'm really digging how that develops. Definitely is an MVP. Just super chill. Pull's got it all going on.
Excellent.
Subtle leader.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene as well. Like, it really shows how Pull is like growing up and how he's being affected. You know, he had to deal with not being with Penny for some time. Be interesting to see how things continue moving forward. And if you want to check out Emma's stuff, I have two keyboards on my. It was so confusing now. If you want to check out Emma's stuff, Emma is creating a brand new TTRPG system and setting called All the Witches. You can check it out over there at twitter.com/allthewitches_. You can also find out more information on her Twitter at twitter.com/EmmaPanada. We are going to be casting for, I think actually the casting call closes tomorrow. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Twitter. We are casting for a one-shot of All the Witches that's going to air here on March 17th, which is the day after the Kickstarter for All the Witches goes live. So hop on over there, check it out if you're interested. definitely follow all the witches on Twitter for developments and more information about that. But I'm Stella Luna. I hope that you had a great time here today. We will be back not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after for more Secrets of Saltmarsh at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night and take care. Bye-bye, everybody!